FAL gardening typias and chores. Ideas for extending the season and preparing your garden for next spring. Fall is the time to wind down and put the garden to bed. By preparing now, you can save time next spring when the growing season ramps back up. Check these things off your to-do list soon so that an unexpected early hard frost or snowfall doesn't catch you by surprise. Then, sit back and start dreaming about next year's garden to help you get through those darkest days of winter. Celebrate autumn. Replace tired-looking summer annuals with mums, ornamental kale, and grasses. Arrange pumpkins and gourds around the yard and home and decorate lampposts and arbors with dried corn stalks. Cut branches of cotoneaster and beautyberry to adorn your dining room table for festive harvest dinners, or stick the branches into year-round outdoor containers for extra seasonal color. Get more ideas for dressing up your porch or patio for fall. If your yard doesn't already have one, install a fire pit or small portable fire bowl to take the chill off cool fall evenings. Place the fire pit on a patio or in a backyard area where there's already seating. Take time to gather around with family and friends to toast marshmallows and reminisce about summer. Learn more about designing with fire pits. Bargain hunt. Check out your local nursery for end-of-the-season bargains. More expensive trees and shrubs are often discounted so that nurseries don't have to carry extra inventory through the winter. Plant new specimens as soon as possible and keep them well watered until they go into dormancy. See our recommendations for 21 low-maintenance plants. Renovate beds. Support wildlife. Incorporate eco-friendly practices into your fall cleanup routine. Instead of bagging fallen leaves to be hauled away, finely shred leaves with a mower and layer or work them into beds to enrich the soil. Add leftovers to the compost pile. Winterize compost by insulating with a thick layer of leaves or straw to trap the heat that is generated as organic matter breaks down. Cover with a permeable cloth to allow moisture in and to keep material from blowing away. Learn more about how and what to compost. Rather than cutting back all of your perennials now, leave plants with seed heads, such as coneflowers, asters, and ornamental grasses, to provide food for your feathered friends through the harshest months. Make sure your garden includes native trees and shrubs with late-season berries, such as hawthorn, viburnum, and beautyberry for seasonal color, as well as additional food for wildlife. Find trees and shrubs with berries. Now that the weather is cooler, it's a good time to divide and move perennials. Do this at least several weeks prior to your average first hard frost in order to give plants time to recover from transplant shock and establish new roots. Cover garden beds with several inches of mulch for extra winter protection. Get ideas for incorporating perennials. Think spring. By late winter, gardeners are eager for any sign of spring. Fall is the time to plant spring blooming bulbs to fill bare spots in the perennial border or along pathways where they can be seen up close. Plant scented flowers such as daffodils or hyacinth near your home's front entrance where the fragrance will be most enjoyed. Learn how to plant, grow, and care for bulbs. Protect your pots. In colder climates, wash and store ceramic and terracotta pots in a cool, dry place where they won't freeze and crack. Sturdy metal, stone, fiberglass, or plastic pots can be left out and used for fall and winter arrangements. See a roundup of some of our favorite fall containers along with 21 tips to create your own festive fall planters. Take stock. Put the patio and tools to bed. Wipe down patio furniture with mild soap and water and store in the garage or garden shed. Scrub excess dirt from garden tools and oil the metal parts to prevent rust. Store tools in a cool, dry place. Disconnect hoses and drain for storage and cover faucets and hose bibs with insulating material to keep them from freezing. Learn more about daily and seasonal maintenance for garden tools. Make a list of what worked well in the garden and what could use fine-tuning. Is a key tree getting too big? Did design elements such as hardscaping and plant combinations work together effectively? Think ahead to next year's projects, such as building a new path, patio, or water feature. Find tips for creating an enticing garden. When summer flowers begin to fade, you don't have to consign yourself to a bare garden. There are plenty of fall flowers to plant that are hardy enough to withstand cool nights and the occasional light frost too. Even better, some fall blooming flowers are perennials, so they'll return every year, giving you reliability and value for your labor. Here's a quick refresher on annuals versus perennials. Just make sure that the perennial fall flowers you choose can withstand winters in your USDA hardiness zone. Find yours here. As long as you get them planted several weeks before the ground begins to freeze, they'll be fine. Also, just because summer has passed doesn't mean you can skip out on paying close attention to your plant's watering needs. Fall can still bring some hot, dry days that can be hard on plants, so don't forget to water your green spaces if you haven't had enough rain. If you've purchased fall flowers for pots, keep in mind that container plants dry out much faster than those in the ground. Are you still searching for ways to maximize your garden efforts? Consider investing in some evergreen shrubs. You'll thank us come wintertime. And while you've got your hands in the dirt, fall is also the ideal time to plant many spring blooming bulbs, which will give you a jump on the next year's growing season. Now, for our favorite fall flowers and plants to add interest to autumn gardens. The bright yellow blooms of goldenrod are perfect for a fall color palette. Not to be confused with ragweed, this late-blooming North American perennial wildflower is a magnet for bees. It can bloom from late August to early October. In one of our editor's gardens, it reliably blooms in late September. It's on the taller side and only showy when in bloom, so pair it with a pretty border. A sun-loving plant that handles a little shade, Sweet Alyssum looks amazing tumbling out of outdoor hanging baskets and window boxes or cascading over a wall. Also a spring bloomer, this cool weather-loving plant puts on a repeat performance come autumn and will even survive a light frost. Its flowers come in pure white and shades of pink and purple with a delicate scent. Did we mention pollinators also adore it? Looking for a real showstopper? Snapdragons love cooler autumn temps. If you live where winters are mild, they might even bloom through winter. This short-lived perennial is often treated as an annual, so don't worry about the hardiness zone too much. Asters are late bloomers that will help your garden transition from summer to fall without missing a beat. Available in purple, blue, white, and pink, these daisy-like flowers also attract tons of pollinators, so you'll enjoy the blooms and their visitors. Plant in full sun. Think beyond the bloom for your fall garden. This perennial is grown mainly for its gorgeous, saturated foliage, which comes in every shade from lemony yellow to watermelon red. It's versatile and keeps its leaf color from spring to the first hard freeze. There are many types of sedums, but this autumn variety is known for its upright form. They can grow up to 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide, and bright pink flowers in late summer and early fall. The blooms on this fall perennial last for weeks, and pollinators love them. These gorgeous flowers come in an array of sizes from tiny buttons and balls to giant dinner plate-sized flowers. In warm climates, leave the bulbs in ground. But in the north, you'll need to dig them up after a hard frost and save the bulbs to replant next spring. Hydrangeas come in many forms, but only the oak leaf variety has bright autumn leaves. Make sure not to prune this shrub in the fall or you will cut off next year's blooms, as this plant blooms on what's called old wood. Sunflowers range in size from a few feet to more than 10 feet tall. Plant the seeds in spring for late summer and fall color. And yes, some types have edible seeds you can eat or share with the birds. Shrub roses, also called landscape roses, are hardy and reliable, and new varieties are more disease-resistant. These beauties bloom well all season long, and many types get an especially beautiful flush of blooms in early to mid-autumn. This hardy bush turns a brilliant red in fall, earning its name. Plant as part of a mixed border or privacy screen. Also called coxcomb, this flame-like flower adds a pop of color to any container or garden bed, summer through fall. Its feathery blooms come in an array of bright colors, including yellow, orange, pink, and red. This bush gets incredible autumn color that makes it a stunning foundation planting or accent in your landscape. Chokeberry, Aca aronia, also boasts spring flowers. Ornamental grasses are great for contrasting with autumn flowers, and their interesting seed heads stay intact to provide winter interest. These charming plants look like sunny faces. Black-eyed Susan can be perennial or annual, so read the tag to be sure about what you're buying.